It's the 1st of July, 2016. Brand new month. So I'm waiting to see if we walk this morning, because obviously that's going to be the first thing on the agenda if we are. And then at some point today I have to go on my account on the Music Submit service and build the playlist for today. And no, I don't know why today suddenly had a weird accent. I'm just going to go with it. But yeah, it's a Triple M week, so I've got to do that, pretty much. And either today or tomorrow we record gig too, so those are the content things I have to deal with this week. So no walking, because I did not know this, but my parents have blood work and stuff this morning, so I'll be sticking around here for a bit. I'm getting ready to post the latest LEGO Dimensions, which means I get to find out if that auto-posting thing I set up works or not. By the way, that click I've been having in my post, I'm starting to wonder if it isn't the volume button where I've been using that to start the things. Which is minorly annoying if that's been the problem, but we'll see. Worked for Tumblr, and I kind of like it. It even somehow took a screenshot of the video and made a thumbnail of it on there. Twitter and Facebook also worked, so there we go. Making it easy, because that's how it works. Just making the process flow, as it were, because sometimes you really need to just make that process work. So I made an interesting decision. Well, not interesting, but it may be considered interesting. Message song came across my dashboard, and what I'm calling a message song is something that has a Christianity slant to it. And it was refreshing because it doesn't exactly follow the usual parameters that you would think of something like that. So my audience pretty much knows I'm a Christian at this point, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to put it at the end there. That way, if someone gets annoyed, they can shut the show off and listen to it later. But yeah, I'm learning something. There's this bizarre thing that just sort of screws in my head every now and then that I kind of have to deal with, oddly enough. Because there is such a stigma with Christianity, because there are so many people being hateful and saying that they're under my banner. And by my banner, I mean that they call themselves a Christian, and then they proceed to destroy several people's lives. It's like, no. You've heard that rant before, I'm not going to repeat it. Anyway, because of that, every now and then, because of that little bit of stigma that it's attached to it, I get nervous about mentioning it outside of gig. Well, outside of gig and Samuel's Thoughts. Those are the two that I sort of let go with. And I honestly need to get over it. This whole podcast network is a ministry to me anyway, even if I don't mention God one tiny bit. It's me sort of showing people that all Christians aren't these stuffy people with sticks up their butts and really bad ideas. That instead, a person can be a Christian without being a religious jerkwad, I suppose. So yeah, when stuff like that comes across my dashboard for the Triple M and stuff, I need to just get over it and just do it. It's something I need to work on. Speaking of just doing it, I at some point need to send out some emails. I really want to get serious about what's your passion, and I won't be able to do that if I don't have any interviews. Along with that pivot that I considered as well. Now here's the point in my head where I go, oh crap, did I talk about the pivot or not? Because I've talked about it with other people. Sorry if this is a repeat. I think I might have mentioned it on Samuel's Thoughts, actually. That's what I'm thinking. Anyway, but I'm wanting to kind of pivot what's your passion. I'm still going to interview people about living their passions out and their stories. But I also kind of want to interview experts about things that will help people do that. So the things that I think really help someone follow their passion, and get experts on that and interview them about those tips and tricks. Productivity, health, things like that I think for a person to follow their passion, they kind of have to follow that as well. So the focus of the show will be still inspiring people to follow their passions, but also giving them resources after they do. And the experts, just like everyone else, I'll still give the option to nominate a charity, all that stuff. It's just I want to pivot that slight bit. In fact, I've already got one former guest that I'm thinking of sending an email once I get enough of a buffer between the first time they were on and ask them about a different interview. So I checked, and because I slacked off on Hearthstone last month, it knocked me back down to Angry Chicken, so I'm going to have to claw my way back up. But that should be doable. Just last month was so dang busy, I honestly did not have the time for anything. And the stuff I was telling you about last week, all the stuff I had to wait for saving up money, I ordered it. So it should come in around the 6th, apparently. Looking forward to that. Because then I'll get to do some live video experiments. I've got an idea, I just have to test it out to see if it works. Also, with the rearrangement down there of the furniture for the new TV setup that they're making up, Salt and Pepper Shaker collection, it's going to be over here. Nice. The only person that uses that part of the couch, that's Pebble Spot, my dog, so she's not going to have any problems with it.
The Daily Tech News for Friday, July 1st, 2016. I'm Tom Merritt. Joining me again, back-to-back, Justin Robert Young is back to celebrate Canada Day. Oh, man.
My parents are hard at work converting the living room. They had to move all the gas extensions first because they had to move the heater. So now they've got the gas out of the way, they're starting to move the entertainment system and all of that stuff. I'm in town. Guess who's playing delivery man today? While they remodel, I figured it was the least I could do. Also, I think experiments have shown that that pop that I was getting actually is the button on the side, but there's some moments just... So I'm going to try to use the screen button when possible, but otherwise, like that last shot with the pizzas, I wasn't risking holding it like that. So the new setup at the parents' is finished. I just helped set up the Fire TV a tiny bit. Was there annoyance? Yes. Was there the usual thing that happens when me and Mom deal with technology? Yes, totally was. Was there a moment where I acted an ass because she scrambled my brain? Yes, that happened too. Me and Mom in tech support never go well. It's one of those things where we just cannot communicate properly. Give me and her all sorts of other things and we're perfectly fine. But I do tech support for her, and usually it occurs from her thinking of about 5 different questions at the same time and then trying to say all of them. Because she suffers from the same thing I do. If you don't get that out right then you're gonna forget it. Problem is, if I get distracted by something else, suddenly my brain's trying to work on 2 things and it short circuits. And that's usually where the problem comes in. At this point, me and her have just accepted it, that it's something that happens. Plus, this is a brand new world for Mom and Dad. It's me holding the hands of newborns in an area, in a way. Because they're still used to thinking of everything traditionally, as in channels, packages, things like that. It's not that way anymore. We're cutting the cord, so all that goes out the window completely, and it gets bizarre once you think of it. But what we're planning to do right now is to get Hulu and Netflix. Even those things combined, we still save a bunch of money. And we could always cancel either of those if we end up figuring out we don't use them that much, but yeah. And my setup to the thing was that I connected both my Twitch account and my YouTube account to the television box. That way I can watch things with them that we want to watch, things like the Modern Rogue videos from the Scam School channel, stuff like that. And when there are free moments on the television where no one's watching anything, I can watch Twitch every now and then. Might be good for esports. Of course, then I'll have to deal with the uncomfortable conversation I've been avoiding with Dad about the fact that esports exist. Because I have a feeling he will not be pleased at the fact that something like esports exists, because he'll find it useless. To put it this way, and I say this lovingly, and he knows I say this, that's why I'm perfectly fine saying it on here, but he's someone. He is the John C. Dvorak of this family. In other words, to put in quotes, who needs this crap? Seriously, me and him sometimes come off as the comedy duo team of the one that is really excited and the one that completely bursts the other's bubble. So it's time, with all of that stuff going on, it's time for me to say goodnight. Good night, everybody.